I can go. Oh, okay.
You live. You already live.
Con. All praise to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Another day closer to the kingdom, and another day we can enjoy a feast, getting the victory over our enemies. Con? 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 Yes. So, happy Purim. Second day of Purim. Beautiful that we're able to come together another day to honor the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua for allowing us to get the victory, man. And as I showed last night, man, all praise to the Most High. You know, the solutions is what we got to look at when we read this Bible. What happened, you know, that we got, how do we get to victory? It wasn't just because the Most High looked down upon us and said, okay, y'all going to die straight. I'm gonna redeem you. It was the fact of the prayer of Mordecai and the prayer of Esther. You understand? Remember, she put doodle, dung on her body. You know what I mean? She went to that depth of humility to touch the Most High, to make sure that, you know, he heard her prayer, heard my Mordecai prayer, then her prayer. You know, and you can't get no humble than that. She put that. And she was beautiful, just like Judah. Same thing. You know, a lot of times we fasted 3 days. Say don't eat nothing for 3 days. What do you say? Don't eat nothing for 3 days. Nothing. No water. Nothing. Just fast. Just sacrifice yourself to the Most High. You know, give everything that you have in the prayer and crying to the Most High. That's the only time He redeemed us. We show that. That's the solution. You know what I mean? It's like, but you can't do it if you're prideful. That's why you got to be humble before the Most High. And I don't take away our manhood, because we still men, we still warriors. Khan. So I don't take nothing away from that. It's just a matter of how we got to be before the Most High. When it came down for them to Judas Maccabees, they prayed, they humbled themselves and cried to the Most High for for the deliverance of us as a people. We talking about people trying to wipe us out, man. It's always Esau at the head. Yep. Feast of dedication, Esau. What we dealing with now? Destruction of Nicanor, Esau. Purim, Esau. Day of Simon, who? Esau. Who the other nations join on with them. So that's what we looking at, the same thing we're looking at now. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we looking at. They're going to follow whatever they do. Not what we doing. They're going to follow whatever they do. So it's a beautiful, you know, that the Most High have our, like they say, call on your ancestors. Our ancestors right here in this Bible. We're going to look at one of our ancestors, a powerful sister, Esther, that's going to risk her life for us, for the whole nation. For the whole nation. Her and Mordecai, you know what I mean? That's where you got to look at it, man. It's like he could use one person, man, to deliver the whole nation. Because she's doing it. That's what we're going to read about. We stopped at the end of chapter 4. So it's always going to start with Colossians 3 and 17.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all Basham Hamashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father Basham Hamashiach Yahushai.
Khan. So let's go to Esther, the 5th chapter. And we're just going to read like we did last night, and just, you know, we're going to come in and, you know, bring precept, whatever, we could do that. But we're just going to read from 5 to 10, but we're going to go into the Apocrypha also to see how it correlates. They say that the Apocrypha is not canon, but you see how it's going to correlate right with each other, you know?
5 from the top.
Yes.
Esther 5 and 1. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house, and the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house.
Right. So Esther put on her royal apparel. What she put on her head? What is it called? What's it called? Come on, y'all remember? Yeah, right. But it's called something else besides crown. Huh?
Crown Royal.
Yeah. Like that whiskey that they have, Crown Royal. That's why I want y'all to see that. You know, her crown was called Crown Royal, right? So, go to Esther 15th chapter in the Apocrypha. the extension of Esther, the book of Esther, the rest of Esther, chapters Esther.
All right, 15 from the top.
Yeah.
Additions to Esther 15 and 1. And upon the third day, when she had ended her prayers, she laid away her mourning garments and put on her glorious apparel.
See, she laid away her mourning garments, because remember we read the prayer last night that she done. So, and Mordecai prayed first, then she prayed, and now you see how it's coinciding with what this the Hebrew, which is the Esther in the regular Bible, the revised, King James Bible, to show you that the Apocrypha and the Apocrypha goes right along with the Bible. We're gonna see that. Read.
Verse 2. And being gloriously adorned after she had called upon the Most High.
After she had what?
After she had called upon the Most High.
After she had what?
After she had called upon the Most High.
After she had called upon the Most High. Read.
Who is the beholder and savior of all things. She took two maids with her.
She took two maids with her. She done called upon the Most High, who is who? The beholder and savior of all things. She took two maids with her. Read.
And upon the one she leaned as carrying herself daintily.
Right. So once she leaned on as she was walking, carrying herself like, very feminine. Go ahead.
And the other followed, bearing up her train.
Right. So that's her long dress that she had, hold it up so it don't touch the ground. Read.
And she was ruddy through the perfection of her beauty.
I mean, she was, beautiful. Go ahead.
And her countenance was cheerful and very amiable.
Right. So she got this smile. She going to the king. Remember, she risking her life for us, the 12 tribes.
Salakia, you froze up. You froze up.
Okay. That's that translator, man. Hold up. Cool, we back on, right?
Khan, you back on.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is additions to Esther's 15 and 6. Then having passed through all the doors, she stood before the king, who sat upon his royal throne, and was clothed with all his robes of majesty, all glittering with gold and precious stones. And he was very dreadful.
He was very dreadful. You gotta think about this now. She's not looking, she's happy, but she's scared, but she's going in there smiling and, looking all beautiful and everything, but he's looking dreadful, like what you doing coming up in here? He ain't smiling. He looking at, look at her like, I'll put you to death. Dreadful, you know what I mean? It's like putting a spirit on her. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Then lifting up his countenance that shone with majesty, he looked very fiercely upon her.
Okay. Go back to hold that, get Esther 4 and start with verse 2 here. Now go ahead, read on.
He looked very fiercely upon her, and the queen fell down and was pale and fainted, and bowed herself upon the head of the maid that went before her.
Hear that? He was looking so dreadful that she fainted. Pretty much just, oh man, I'm going to die. And fell on her maid that was with her. She had two maids. Go ahead.
Then the Most High changed the spirit of the king into mildness.
Okay, to what?
Into mildness.
To mildness, right? the Most High changed the king countenance to mildness. So what is happening here? What y'all see is going on?
He Most High toned him down a little bit.
Right, but why?
Because of her prayer?
Because of the prayer, of Mordecai and Esther.
And Esther.
Not just Esther, Mordecai and Esther. Remember they prayed, we went over that last day, they was praying crying out to the Most High. But you said, we have sinned. You know, what she do? She was a young maiden, just went into the king and became the queen. But she still said, we have sinned, and that's very important, because that's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. That's humility. You know, all the prophets said the same thing. You know, we went over that. Remember that? Yeah, we went over that. I mean, all the prophets said the same thing, man. That's humility before the Most High. Go ahead.
Then the Most High changed the spirit of the king into mildness, who in a fear leaped from his throne and took her in his arms.
Okay, now go back to Esther 5 and 2. Start with there.
Esther 5 and 2. And it was so, when the king saw Esther the queen standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
Right, so what it says is, the king held up, and it was so when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. Why? Because huh? The prayers. They prayed to the Most High. That got to be said. They prayed to the Most High, so now the Most High is coming answering their prayers. You got to see this. They cried out to the Most High, and now the Most High is answering the prayer. You see the prayer come into effect by the reaction of the king, because that was the whole thing. If she go there, the king pulled his scepter up, it's cool. Remember, when she looked at him, he looked so dreadful that she fainted. Because why? She thought he's going to put the scepter down and she's going to die. That's why she fainted on her maid. But the Most High came through answering that prayer. That's why prayer is very important, but it's got to be sincere. And we got to look at how they prayed, because everybody prayed, man. When we went to Feast of Dedication, you're going to see that they crying out to the Most High. Judas Maccabees. Remember the numbers didn't coincide. I mean, as far as the numbers that Judas Maccabees, his army had, and the ones that was coming against us, outnumbered. Yeah, outnumbered completely. And the Most High brought that fear into them, man, and gave us the victory. You see, that's what I look at for what it is that the Most High, how we get his attention. Read the Bible for solutions of how we get the Most High's attention, how we got the Most High's attention, and that's the same thing we can do. You understand? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Then said the king unto her, what would thou, Queen Esther, and what is thy request?
Okay, now go ahead.
It shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom.
Wow, man. You say, what's your request? You say, we'll give it to you, whatever you want, even to the half of the kingdom. He gonna share his whole kingdom with her. You know, Esther was pretty bad. Come on, I'll give you half the kingdom, baby. Most High really changed his countenance, right? Go back to Apocrypha. Read that. Verse 7.
Additions to Esther's 15 and 7. Then lifting up his countenance that shone with majesty, he looked very fiercely upon her, and the queen fell down and was pale and fainted, and bowed herself upon the head of the maid that went before her.
Right. Go ahead.
Then the Most High changed the spirit of the king into mildness.
No, it can't get no clearer than that. The Most High is answering their prayer. Mordecai and Esther prayer right here. The Most High changed the spirit of the king into mildness. Go ahead.
Who in a fear leaped from his throne and took her in his arms till she came to herself again, and comforted her with loving words, and said unto her, Esther, what is the matter? I am thy brother, be of good cheer.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not die, though our commandment be
Thou.
general, come
Go ahead.
near.
Go read it again, though.
Though thou shalt not die, though our commandment be general, come near.
He's telling her to come near. Go ahead.
And so he held up his golden scepter and laid it upon her neck and embraced her and said, Speak unto me. Then said she unto him, I saw thee, my ruler, as an angel of the Most High, and my heart was troubled for fear of thy majesty.
Woo. Go back to the Revised Version, 1611 Bible. Start at verse 4 of 5.
Esther 5 and 4. And Esther answered, If it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
Right. So now go back to the Apocrypha and read on from there.
Additions to Esther 15
Verse 14.
and 14. For wonderful art thou, my ruler, and thy countenance is full of grace. And as she was speaking, she fell down for faintness.
Right. Go ahead.
Then the king was troubled, and all his servants comforted her.
Right. So she still was afraid. And so now when she came about, she go back to read verse 4 of chapter 5. And we'll continue from there.
Esther 5 and 4. And Esther answered, If it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
So it said, hey, she prepared a banquet for the king. Go ahead.
Then the king said, Cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther hath said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared.
So you see her plot that she had plotted. She plotting. She said, hey, you and Haman, y'all come on and come to this banquet that I'm prepared for you. So she set them up. You know, she set them up, boy.
How Jake said, lining them up.
Lining them up. That's right.
She lining them up.
Lining them up, boy. Eat ready, ain't she?
God. I guess he missed the scripture, stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
Right.
Esther got him with that beauty, boy.
Yep.
Lining them up.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, What is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom it shall be performed.
Hear that? He's still letting her know. I say, what do you want? What do you want, baby? Say, hey, whatever it is, all the way to the half of the kingdom, you can have it. Go ahead.
Then answered Esther and said, My petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king hath said.
Right. Say, hey, you and Haman come to the banquet I prepared for you tomorrow. You're setting him up. Go ahead.
Then went Haman forth that day joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
See that? So what is this? What is Haman rolling with? A lot of what? Huh? Pride. Pride. Wasn't that what we went over last night? When we went to Psalms 83rd chapter, first one lifted up the head, and pride was who? Edom. Straight up. I mean, can't get no clearer than that. So Haman is excited because out of everybody in the kingdom, Esther requested the king and Haman, who the king had set up, got second in charge over the whole kingdom. This Edomite, what Edomite was it? Not your women, please don't answer. Please don't answer. Let the brother have a chance to work their minds first. Okay? All right? Brothers, come on. Amalek. Who is who? The grandson of Edom. Grandson of Edom. Khan. So this is what we're looking at. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh, his wife.
Yeah, so he called his friends and Zeresh, his wife. Go ahead.
And Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king.
Right, so what is Haman doing right now? What is he doing? Yeah.
He's boasting.
Huh? Yeah. Khan. He boasting. Yeah. He exalting himself. He exalting himself. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Haman said, moreover, yeah, Esther the queen did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared, but myself. And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king.
Hear that? So he's saying, look, out of everybody in the kingdom, just me and the king is invited to this banquet tomorrow. So he's very excited about the fact that he's the only one that's going into the banquet with the king. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate.
So look at this. He said, all this don't mean nothing. As long as I see Mordecai sitting at that gate, who would not do what? What Mordecai wouldn't do. That I asked you women, Baba Kushah, Baba Kushah, Baba Kushah, Baba Kushah, not to answer, because the brothers gonna answer after y'all get the right answer. They gonna answer after y'all. The brother said it last night. Remember the brother said it last night. He said he heard the sister's answer, and then he came over and said the answer that y'all said. So come on, brothers. Put your thinking caps on. Y'all this ain't the first time y'all been through Esther, right? Anybody the first time they been through Esther, the Purim. So everybody been through this. Everybody done been through this many years, and we've been going over this over and over again. So y'all should know this story, man. Yes. Ain't nobody behind you.
No, I'm just gonna say, man, she gave the spoiler alert. Whoever was talking over there, they gave the spoiler alert.
Huh?
They gave the spoiler alert. You know, spoiler?
Yeah.
You know, spoiler.
Yes. I said con. What I say con, you know con is yes, right?
Con.
I said yes, but okay, con, okay. All right.
All right.
Help me to understand. Okay. So read that again,
Esther
verse 13.
5 and 13.
Huh.
Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's
He
gate.
say all this don't mean nothing to me, a damn thing to me, as long as I see Mordecai at the gate. You know, because Mordecai didn't bow down. Remember, we don't bow down to nothing, nobody, or nothing but who? The Most High. And he's honoring that. You know, Most High say don't bow down to nothing. Ain't nothing you can see tangible, period, that you can bow down and say you bowing down to the Most High. You want to see Most High dwell in thick darkness. You want to try to get close to him, close your eyes. What you see, darkness. That's how you get close to the Most High. You don't see nothing in prayers or nothing that you can see tangible. Like I seen the Pope come down the steps from one celebration he was having, came down and had a little shrine with a little cross in the middle, bowing his head to that cross. No, man. Praying in front of that cross. No, man, we don't do nothing of that nature, man. Ain't nothing tangible because the Most High is an invisible power. Khan?
Khan.
Yeah, man, he's invisible. Straight up. So Mordecai ain't bowing down to no dang on Haman. This Edomite demon. Read.
Verse 14.
Salakia.
yeah.
Salakia. Read 13 again. Salakia.
Esther 5:13. Yet all this availeth me nothing.
You see what Hammond said? He said, all this means nothing to me. Now he about to go to the banquet. He up there at the top with everybody, with Esther and the king. But he said, none of this means nothing to me. Come on.
so long as I see Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate.
Just because I see him sitting at the king's gate, right? Just because that figure's there, right? And what happened is he was moved with envy and wrath and hatred because Mordecai wouldn't bow down to him.
That's right.
Read Salakia, Proverbs 27:4. So you ever wonder how somebody that got more than you, but they still envious of you? That's the situation right here.
Yeah.
You got your position, but that nigga wouldn't bow down to me.
Nope.
Right? So this means nothing. Everything I got, my position means nothing as long as he's sitting there. Good? You ever done you growing up and then like you see life experience as well? Person got more than me. And that's the spirit of Esau.
That's right.
Esau got the whole earth, power, everything. He rules by the sword, but he envy the hell out of us, man.
That's right.
Because why? He's not you. He can't do what you. That spirit we got. And what? We are the salt of the earth.
That's
The
right.
Most High gave us that spirit. So you're like, damn, this white man, he got everything. You got billions of dollars in the riches of the world, but you don't want to see me with $500 a week.
Right.
They won't even give Jake a job, but they billionaires.
Right.
Right?
That's right.
So that's that spirit. Read Proverbs 27:4 real quick. Salakia.
Proverbs 27:4.
Go ahead.
Wrath is
The
cruel,
Lord said, wrath is cruel. Go ahead.
and anger is outrageous.
And when somebody's angry with you, that's outrageous. Go ahead.
But who is able to stand before envy?
Who is able to stand before envy, man?
That's right.
That envy will confound you. Like, yo, but wait a minute, you in a higher position than me. But you wouldn't bow down to me, and you a Jew. Notice it says, as long as I see Mordecai the Jew.
Right.
The Lord's chosen people. Keep it down, some of y'all. Keep order. The service still going on. All right. So as long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate, this don't mean nothing to me. Okay? So you see that spirit of envy, and Esau has that heavy spirit of envy, even as a nation. Esau hates Jacob because we got that birthright. Right? Going all the way back to Genesis.
Go there. Genesis 27. You good with that?
Yeah, okay. I just
20.
want to link that up. Esther 3:13 with Proverbs 27:4. Right.
Go to Genesis. Genesis.
Hold up. The elder want to call the scripture.
I wanted to say
26. Genesis 27:41.
The priest want to pull the scripture after that.
All right.
This is Genesis 27:41.
Go ahead.
This is where it comes from, man. All the way back from Esau. Jacob received the blessing, and Esau received his blessing. And once he realized that, his blessing was the fatness of the earth, and he shall live by the sword. And we were given. Y'all know what our blessing was that our forefather gave us?
Everlasting life.
Everlasting life. Khan. That's right. Can we get a clap on that? That's right, man. Everlasting life. Hallelujah. Live forever, man. Khan. Okay. Genesis 27:41. This is why all this is coming about. It started right here. This vow that was made right here. Read that.
Genesis 27:41.
Khan.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
See that? Esau hated Jacob. He hated us behind the blessing that we received for everlasting life. But hey, he sold his birthright. But it had to happen because the Most High said the elder shall serve the younger. However the Most High do things, his ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts, but he gonna make it happen. Point blank. It's gonna happen. It's just we can't really look at, we don't have the mind of the Most High. We can instruct him. It says we got the mind of a Mashiach Yahushai because all the prophets had the spirit of a Mashiach Yahushai. So here he is saying, hey, he hated our forefather Jacob, whose name was changed to Yaquab, Israel. And what did he say?
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Yeah, see? Said we're going to bury our father Isaac. Say, then I'm going to kill my brother Jacob. That's a vow that he put out there. He didn't do it when he met our forefather Yaquab, but he still put this vow out. That's why by the time you get to Ezekiel 35:5, like we read yesterday, there it is. I mean, it's like we have a perpetual hatred against the children of Israel. Read that so you know it's not dealing with just then, it's dealing with what we got to deal with even our future. Because our calamity of things that we're dealing with is going to have an end. It's going to have an end. Read that just for review.
Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
So it's going to come a time, man, that our iniquity is going to have an end. You understand? So when our iniquity have an end, they're going to be, doing what it says here. What they're going to be doing? Read it again.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
When our iniquity had an end, when the Most High getting ready to bring us into our land again, every time, man, go to Obadiah 10. Did what they did. They always was there to accomplish the things that was written from them, their hatred for Jacob. Read that.
Obadiah 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
They're going to be cut off forever, man, for the violence against the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. You name them tribes, man. You name them tribes. Okay, they say they most high part of belonging to them. How is he part of them when he say he the power of Israel, and Israel is those tribes, the 12 tribes. You understand? And when you name them tribes, man, what tribe are you? They can't say nothing. Can't gainsay on that. They can say, oh, he's a power of everybody. No, he say the power of Israel. Khan, read on.
In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of
Hear
them.
that? Our fraternal wicked brother Esau, the Edomites, was as one of them that was carrying us into captivity, man. What did he do? Read. Mosai's talking to him. Listen, Esau. Go ahead.
But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
So what they do, man, they was like the ones that's when we running away, man, especially the Babylonian. This is what it's talking about primarily when the Babylonians came, Nebuchadnezzar came to get us, man. This is what they did, man. Get first Ezra's 4:45. So you see that these are the things that why the Most High said they're gonna be cut off forever, because these are the things that they've done. Some of the things that they've done, but we know that it just said in the day of when our calamity had an end, they're gonna come down with much wrath. That's Jacob's trouble. You understand? So read that. This is what they did. Now, what do we go to honor the Most High? As far as we as the children of Israel, where do we go to honor the Most High back in the day? We had what? Temple, right. So listen what it says.
First Esdras 4:45.
Yeah.
Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple, which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees.
This is how much hatred they have, man. So they burned down our temple so we couldn't what?
Worship the Most High.
Worship the Most High, man. That's what it's all about, even to this day, man.
Right.
They don't want us to come back to the Most High. No. In all ways, shapes, and forms, man. They don't want us to be able to know how to get close to the Most High. That He can have mercy and this grace that He's going to give us, and compassion, and have pity upon us so that we can get out of here, man. All we got to do is learn how to please the Most High. And we out of here. Mashiach don't know nobody know but the Most High. And that's all we have to do, really. In essence, that's what did they do? Read.
Thou hast also vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees.
Right. So that show you that much hatred that they have. That's what we went over last night about Ezekiel 39 and 23. You know, where the heathen know they went into captivity for our iniquity, because the Most High turned his face away from us for what? Why the Most High turned his face away from us? Why is all this happening right now?
Iniquity.
Well, iniquity, which is what?
Our sin.
Our sin. We sin against who?
Yeah.
The Most High. You see, we didn't follow what he said to do. Okay, talking about we ain't under the law. We ain't under the commandments. So not being under the law and the commandments, and we still following that same suit while we're in the condition we in now. Well, you got to fear the Most High. You got to repent, keep the commandments of the Most High, and cry unto the Most High, man. As you see our ancestors did, because every last prophet had the spirit of a Mashiach. We are Mashiachim. You understand? And the Mashiach is the Most High. So as long as we can see that he's missing in our nation. Where is it talking about the Most High at? Fluently, I'm talking about. Just him. I'm about to say he don't know when the Most High gonna send him back. Do we know? He said only the Most High knows. So if the Most High know when he's gonna deliver us and bring judgment on this earth, man, we gotta tap into him, man. This might be something like y'all might not look at as closely as you should, man, but spiritually, without him, we ain't going nowhere. That's why it's very important to learn about him. That's what you see our ancestors. That's what I seen. Our ancestors cried out to him, man, and they start talking about the things he done. Remember when we came out of Egypt from captivity, and you took us across opened up the Red Sea, saving us from Pharaoh and his army. We was scared as ever, right? Crying to the Most High right there on the edge of the Red Sea. We're gonna die. Our ancestors reminded the Most High all the time. You look at what this and solutions in this Bible, they always reminded the Most High of what he done. Remember you did this? Remember you did that? So now we got to do the same thing. Remember the Most High when you delivered us from, like we being delivered now. That's what we're talking about now. We're being delivered. We're going to be delivered, man, through the power of the Most High only. That ain't new. That's not nothing new, man. That's the Old Testament, the brothers, that's what they still believe in. Yahweh, Bashama, Mashiach, Yahushua. Because Mashiach said, no man come to the Father but by him. Right. There ain't no New Testament. Get the New Testament out of your mind and start thinking that what it is that's written there is only the law and the prophets. So the prophets had to follow the same suit as what you're telling us whenever he was on the earth in the flesh. But if you just look at like Christians, that's the New Testament. It's just new. No, ain't nothing new. When they went to synagogue, all they read was the law and the prophets. We know the New Testament wasn't even written yet. It wasn't compiled yet until 325 AD. So I go Salakia. Go ahead. We don't where we at. Nestor.
5 and
14.
5 and 14. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll read 13 again.
Yeah, read 13 and 14 because this is very important to see the mindset of Esau. We're gonna see the mindset of Esau. Read this.
Esther 5 and 13. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate.
That's hatred, man. Go ahead.
Then said Zeresh his wife and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai be hanged thereon.
This ain't Haman said it. This is his people. The Edomite friends and so forth. His wife and everybody said, hey, build some gallows and let Mordecai be hung on them gallows. That's hatred, right? They don't know nothing about Mordecai. All he said was, as long as Mordecai's living, hey, I don't care about this banquet. They said build gallows and hang him up. Read.
Then go thou in merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made.
He caused the gallows to be made. Go ahead. That's the so they can hang them. That's like the, like y'all, how you saw build that wood up and they ready to hang people. Yeah, they're like that. There it is. See it? Could can I show it on? Can I show it on?
Absolutely.
Can I show it? We show it online. Just Yahweh dial. Get his phone. Hand it to us so we can put it online.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gallows, right? Oh, man, let me see. Gallows. That's gallows right there. See? There it is. Go ahead.
Salakia, read 14 again.
Esther 5 and 14. Then said Zeresh his wife,
Yeah.
Like the white woman, right? Go ahead.
and all his friends unto him.
And all his friends unto him.
That's right.
So they all had the same mind frame.
Yeah.
Esau got that hanging and lynching spirit. God? Right? Go ahead.
Let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high.
Right, 50 cubits, I think that's about 75 feet in the air when you translate the measurement. That's high up in the air, man.
Yep.
Right, come on.
And tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai be hanged thereon.
Be what?
That Mordecai be hanged thereon.
So that hanging and lynching spirit that's in Esau's spirit, man, from back then.
Yep.
Remember the movie Django?
Yeah.
When they was trying to get Jamie Foxx or whatever the kid, and Esau said, "Ain't nobody gonna cheat the hangman in my town." Right? They was like in the Western era, they was heavy into that. That's probably where that image that the Ark pulled out. But back here during the time of the Persian Empire, the Edomites had that same spirit. Right. And it said his wife and all of his friends. When you look at books like Without Sanctuary, 100 Years of Lynching, remember they used to photograph the lynchings and make them into postcards, right? And on the postcards, you would see the white woman, the little white children, and the white man pointing up, smiling at the Negro hanging on the tree. So it's the same thing right here. Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends. They used to have lynching parties, picnic. That's where the word picnic come from. Picnic off a tree. Okay? So that same spirit was in Esau from back then. Same spirit to make them gallows high, hang them high. Right?
That's right.
But as we can see, that's how you know the scriptures say never trust thine enemy. Because they got the same spirit from back then. And they still hanging Jake still today.
That's right.
A lot of times the news downplay it, but once in a while it'll leak out a random Jake just found hanging somewhere. And you know what the narrative they push now? Suicide. Oh, he was depressed and suicide. But they got that spirit till March 2025. And that's why every once in a while it'll creep out, little story will come out. They found a black man hanging in Texas. Oh no, he committed suicide. Thorough investigation, he was depressed, he committed suicide. No, you had a lynching party.
Right.
Okay? So same spirit back then, man. 75 feet in the air, and they hang you, man. That's a high way to hang, man.
Right.
So it says Zeresh and his wife and all of his friends.
That's right.
So all of Edomites, just like in the 1800s, 1900s, you saw them postcards with the little Edomite girl and the Edomite woman. And there's a famous one with a little white girl that's pointing up to the brother with a big cheese smile on her face. And her father's like right there and some other Edomite women and men, and she's pointing up smiling at the Jake hanger. So that's that same spirit they had from back then.
That one was in Indiana.
They got the hangman's tree in Indiana. It's called the hangman's tree. Now, I remember growing up, man, every month in the Jet magazine, they had one of those hanging. Or hanging in the Jet magazine. I mean, that one became a celebrity hanging on the tree, man. The Jet magazine, man. It was just hanging us, man, during that time. Yeah.
Lamentations on 5 and 5. Our necks are under persecution. Lamentations 5 and 5.
Right. Read that again, brother. We need to hear that.
Lamentations chapter 5, verse 5. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest.
Right. That's right, man.
So you what was that? Lamentations 5?
Lamentations 5 and 5.
Right. Stay in that chapter. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's the same verse. Yeah. Read that one more time.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 5. Our necks are under persecution.
Right. That's talking about the hardcore captivity also. All right.
We labor and have no rest.
But yeah, that can go into that also, man. You know, our next, because when you didn't meet that quota in slavery or you did anything to make master mad, you got hung. Okay? You persecute me, but if I rebel or don't like it, you gonna have me hung on a tree. All right, go ahead, King.
I got the phone. You was talking about the little girl smiling at the tree.
Oh, Salakia, real quick, jump to 12. That's the verse I wanted. Lamentations 5 and 12.
Verse 12. Oh.
Lamentations 5 and 12.
This book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 12.
Go ahead.
Princes are hanged up by their hands.
Princes are hanged up by their hands.
Right.
Kind? Right? Don't you see some of the lynching photos where Jake is tied up by his hands too? Yep. Tied up by his hands, tied up by his neck. Yep. And notice what it says. It says princes. Because what? Princes shall come out of Egypt. Israel are the princes that came out of Egypt. We the Yasha'Allah, the princes of the power.
That's right.
Okay? It said princes would be hanged by their hands. This was prophecy. That's and back here was the Babylonians. The Babylonians was doing it to us. Right? The so-called ancient Ethiopians. Right? Go ahead.
The faces of the elders were not honored.
Right. The faces of the elders were not honored. So we got a long history of it as a people, of people lynching and hanging us. And this is also the future prophecy of modern day Babylon. Princes are hanged up by their hands. God? God, I yield on that.
Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. You want Esther 6?
Yeah.
We Esther 6 and 1?
Con.
Esther.
Somebody had their hand up?
That's okay.
All right, go
Oh, listen, I got the picture that you was talking about.
Oh yeah, that famous picture. Yeah, let me see that real quick. Salakia, we're gonna continue on. Yeah, see that? Yeah, that's the famous picture right there. Little white girl smiling.
Yeah.
Right?
Con.
Brother hanging on the tree.
See.
Little devilette smiling.
Right, just like you said, what's the name, Elder? On Django, the dude killed the dude right in front of everybody, but when the marshal come, he like, you and your nigger come out right now. Right. He just killed the man in cold blood, but you gonna say you and your nigger come out.
Right. And he said, ain't nobody gonna hang, they ain't gonna cheat the hangman in my town. Right. Salakia.
Go ahead.
Yeah, from what I heard, that they said something about.
Can you speak up?
Shemai.
1,000 oaks. Y'all know about 1,000 oaks, right? They said that they hung about 1,000 Northern Kingdom brothers. That's why they call 1,000 oaks that.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, you talking about the neighborhood 1,000 Oaks, right?
Yeah. The reason why the neighborhood was called 1,000.
Let's get order. Let's keep order.
The reason why the neighborhood is called 1,000 Oaks because they were hanging 1,000.
Shemai, please. Let's keep order, y'all.
1,000 North Kingdom brothers out there. That's why they called it 1,000 Oaks.
Well, I gotta look that up. That's some interesting information.
Right.
All right.
Let's continue, right?
Yeah, let's continue on.
Esther 6 and 1.
Yeah, Salakia, real quick. Let's keep order, y'all. Unless you're saying something or asking a question, it shouldn't be, all this different chatter going on. All right, we bringing out the word. All right.
Esther Salakia. 6 and 1. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king.
So he couldn't sleep. He said, hey, bring the records of the Chronicles of the Persian and Medes to him. Read.
And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, 2 of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
Yeah, man. So it was found that Mordecai had saved the king, because remember these two cats wanted to kill the king. Go ahead.
And the king said, what honor and dignity have been done to Mordecai for this?
So what have we done to Mordecai for saving my life? The king is saying, read.
Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
Say nothing done for Mordecai that saved your life, king. Right? Go ahead.
And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
Hear that? No. He already asked, who is it that saved my life? And this was Mordecai. When you read in the Chronicle, it was Mordecai. And here come Haman coming in front of the king saying, hey, I done built these gallows. We're going to hang Mordecai. Who it is that saved his life. Keep that in mind, read.
And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in.
So here come Haman. This, what is Haman? Amalek. Go ahead.
So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor?
So Haman come in, and the king said, hey, what should be done to the man that the king delighteth to honor? Go ahead.
Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than myself?
He say, who would the king want to give honor to more than myself? That's still dealing with what? Pride. Pride. Right? Go ahead.
And Haman answered the king, for the man who the king delighteth to honor, let the royal apparel be brought which the king useth to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
So he laying all these things out for the king to do, thinking it's him. He twisted. He thinking that the king want to honor him, so he laid all these things that he would like the king to do for himself, not knowing. Read.
Then the king said to Haman, make haste, and take the apparel and the horse, as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew, that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken.
So look, what color you think he turned in?
Red.
What color you think he turned in? I say beyond red. He's really good. I mean, you know what I mean? He's like, burn it up.
He turned into a ketchup bottle.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? He's thinking it's for him. He came in to tell the king, we're going to hang Mordecai on the gallows. He won't bow down to me. You know, and here is the king telling him, hey, you go give all these things you thinking that you're going to get for yourself.
God.
Give it to Mordecai.
God.
Come on, man. He's pissed off. Now, go ahead.
Verse 11. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning and having his head covered.
Look, Haman's got an attitude, boy. He's like, hey, he mourning, he crying, man. Come on, this man, he really hated him to the utmost. And now he got to go out there, not only hated him on the hanging, but he got to go out there and present him with all the royal gifts of the king and put him on a horse and carry him. He's walking him around the city. So you know he's pissed off, boy. And he prideful too?
Right.
Come on, read.
And Salakia, and he just swore it was him.
Yeah.
Who would the king want to delight more than me?
Yeah.
So the Most High is killing that pride, man.
That's right. He breaking it down. Yeah.
That's how it's going to be in the day when the Most High exalts us over Amalek. And who thinks he's going to be exalted? And he gonna be mad just like this here.
Yep.
That's how
Thinking this kingdom gonna last forever, right?
that's exactly, he gonna be perplexed as to why it's not him, but it's us.
Right.
That's exactly how it's gonna be.
God, yes.
I got a precept what Yahweh said regarding Amalek in the book of Numbers. Permit me to read it.
Say again?
Numbers what?
Numbers regarding Amalek being the first of the nations. It says Amalek was the first of the nations, but at the end, latter end, he shall perish forever. Numbers chapter 24 and 20.
Numbers 24.
Call it again and read it.
All right.
Read it loud.
Read it loud, yeah.
Yes, Numbers chapter 24, verse 20.
Con.
And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
Con.
That's
right.
Precept. Con.
Exodus 17 and 16. You think about what they're dealing with right now. Exodus 17, 16. They going through it. No. Exodus 17 and 16.
Exodus 17 and 16. For he said, because the Most High have sworn that the Most High will have war with Amalek.
With who?
Will have war with Amalek.
With who?
We'll have war with Amalek.
We know who Amalek came from. Con, remember last night? Yeah, we went to Genesis 36 and 12. You know, Esau's grandson through Eliphaz and Tamar, right? Con? Okay, go ahead. What did you read again?
For he said, because the Most High have sworn that the Most High will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
That's right, man. That's why they at war right now. Until he fulfill what you just read in Numbers 24 and what?
Numbers chapter 24, verse 20.
Verse 20. God. Go back up. Esther.
I think he was in 6 and 12. Or no,
I just finished reading 12.
okay.
Esther 6 and 12. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning and having his head covered.
Right, so he's angry. He's like crying out. Go ahead.
And Haman told Zeresh his wife and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh his wife unto him, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shalt surely fall before him.
He's letting them know, man, hey, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him. You're not going, do anything against him. He said, but thou shalt surely fall before him. She prophesied his death. Go ahead.
And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlains and hasted to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared.
All this didn't happen now. He's getting ready to go to the banquet that Esther had prepared for him and the king. Go ahead.
Esther 7 and 1. So the king and Haman came to banquet with Esther the queen. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed even to the half of the kingdom.
So you done told her this 3 times. Hey, you can have even half the kingdom, whatever you want. What is your request? Go ahead.
Then Esther the queen answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request.
Now remember, Mordecai told her not to tell the king or anyone that she was an Israelite. Okay? So now she's revealing at this time for the first time, my people. You see? Because she's an Israelite. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we have been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
Hear that? She said, hey, we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But he said, we have been sold for bondmen or bondwomen, because we always went into captivity. What the scripture says is Israel a homeborn what? Slave. You know, she said, is he spoiled, right? You know, so she said, we've been sold for bondmen and bondwomen. It's all right. He said, I'd held my tongue. I wouldn't have nothing to say to you. Although the enemy could not prevail the king's damage. Go ahead. Because once he put that signet ring and signed that petition, it's law. It's law in the Persian Media Empire, right? So now she's going in there saying, hey, it's already been ordained by his signet ring. It's got to go forth. So now it's got to change. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he, that dares presume in his heart to do so?
Say, who is this that wants to do this to you and your people? You my queen. Who want to take you out that you could perish? Did he love her too? Read.
And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
He right there in front of his face. It's this wicked Haman. She pointing to him. Read.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
Haman got scared then. Go ahead.
So like you read 6 again.
Verse 6. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
Right. So our Benjamite sister was calling the white man the devil.
That's right.
She's calling him the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay? She wasn't marrying him like Rob Judah. What's Tariq's favorite? Candace Owens. Right? Yeah, Candace Owens. She's a Benjamite. She's married to Esau. Right? This Benjamite sister said the white man's the devil. Okay? Because he's trying to commit genocide on our people. Again, same spirit. Why did they bring crack in our communities? To destroy us. Why did they take the man out of the household? To destroy us. Why did they have the women's liberation movement? To destroy our people? Everything. Even so-called gangster rap. Right? That sister Alicia Keys, she came out and said that. She said, I believe gangster rap was created to destroy our black men. Okay? Yep. So it's always been that plot. And Alicia Keys is a Benjamite too. Right? But it was always been that plot to destroy us as a people. So right here, Esther is saying, look, this wicked man wants to get rid of us as a nation. See that? So our sisters was in the spirit back then. God? Right, God, King.
Let me say this. Also, when you look at the devil, deceitful and evil person, devils are deceitful, evil people, but Satan is enemy, adversary, and foe. So it means she's dealing with, she's calling them Satan too, the devil and Satan. You know what I mean? Like you combine both, man. You got all the wickedness that you could think of, and then some more, right? That's what she calling them, man. In the king's face, and Haman's right there, straight up. You the devil, you Satan. But see, right now we don't realize that. You know what I mean? We looking at everybody got to be everybody. Why we can't y'all get along? But you see what she's saying before the king. What if the king would have said, no, this is my boy. Who doing this? It's Haman. Can't be Haman. Because he done set him up to be second in charge of the whole kingdom. That's how wicked Jake would do, man. You know what I mean? Turn aside and say, oh, I ain't listening to you. This is my boy or whatever. Nah. Those that join unto them shall what? Fall by the sword. Con? That's what it says. Isaiah 13:15, Con. I know you know that one. But let's go. Read.
All right. Esther 7 and 6. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
Go ahead.
And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath, written to the palace garden, and Haman stood up to make requests for his life to Esther the queen. for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
That's right, man. He saw that the king got angry looking at it. Can you imagine that look? He already had that vicious look when she was going to get ready to go before him, right? You got to look. You got to imagine the fierce look that he had right there. That Haman seen him like, and he just looked at him like, what? He can even get worse. Read
Verse 8. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was.
what? What?
And Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was.
Oh, you ain't only gonna kill her people. You gonna rape my wife? You in the bed with my wife? You just fell in the bed where Esther was. Go ahead.
Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house?
Hey, you gonna rape my wife? After what you have done and what you have told me? He already angry, so look how angry he's getting now. He said, you gonna force my wife before me in my house? Go ahead.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also, the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who has spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon.
That's right. The gallows that he prepared for Mordecai, say hang Haman on them same gallows that he perplexed to be able to put us on. Not only Mordecai, but he want to put all of us on there, man. Many as he could on those gallows. You're gonna see there's a lot of hangments. Loops that he have, read.
Verse 10. So they hang Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
Yeah. Then was the king's wrath pacified. Go ahead. So Haman is gone. Go ahead.
Esther 8:1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her.
So now Esther told the king that Mordecai is her what? Her what? Uncle? Hmm? Huh? Cousin, yeah, because for years we thought he was her uncle.
Yeah, cousin.
God, right? We thought he was her uncle. God. But we realize that now that Mordecai is her cousin that raised her. Go ahead. So now she's telling the king, hey, I'm an Israelite. I'm of the tribe of Benjamin. Go ahead.
Shalakia, he most likely had to be an older cousin.
Yeah.
You know, she probably was an older cousin because when her parents died, he took her as his daughter. But he most likely was an older cousin. But for years, brothers used to think uncle,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Right. God, go ahead.
Esther 8:2. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
That's right. So now Mordecai's second in charge, man, in the Persian Mede Empire. God, go ahead.
And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews.
Right. So hey, he said Esther spake again to the king and fell down at his feet. And when she fell down at his feet, what is he doing?
Repeat the question.
When Esther fell down at the king's feet, what is she doing?
What is
She's
he doing?
She's pleading with the king.
See what?
She's pleading with the king.
She's begging in tears.
Right. She's begging, it sounds better, and she's humbling herself before the king. It's very important because he's already angry. So now she's going before him and she's showing her humility and her respect for the king. Remember from the beginning when Vashti didn't come to him, what the men say? You got to get rid of her because all the women going to follow her example. So now here she is in front of him and she's bowing down herself to him and showing humility before him. You know what I mean? Humbling herself before him. so that whatever she desire, because it's gonna get deeper. I mean, he gonna grant it to her. How much? How humble can you be? That a woman comes to your feet and lay down, let go before you and talking to you. You know what I mean? That's real humble. Y'all probably can't relate to that, huh? I ain't doing that. Y'all talking about you. Woman can pass a man now. Don't you know that? You do think of the earth too. Woman should compass a man. You gotta do that. Y'all better bow down to us. But we do, but don't just men bow down and put that ring on their finger. They bow on that one knee.
That's a European custom.
European custom, right? But they still follow the same suit.
Some do.
Yeah, some do, right. I mean, that's what I'm saying, but the majority, majority of people gonna follow the ways of the world anyway. That's why he said, come out of her, my people. But go ahead.
A lot of times they tell Jake no anyway.
Right.
They get out on his knees with a $10,000 ring and she's like, no.
It depends on how valuable the ring is.
Right.
Wow.
God,
I thought Diamond was the girl's best friend.
God.
Right, God, go ahead.
Esther 8 and 4. Then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces.
Yeah, so it had to be something that was written by the king to reverse, because once he signed it with his signet ring for them to kill us, then that had to go forth. So now she asked him to reverse it so that he would bring forth a decree that gonna happen from what it is that she desired for the king to do. Read.
Verse 6. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
She's breaking it down, man. Go ahead.
Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse.
That's right. So he's telling her, write whatever you want to write. Just hear my ring, put it in that ink, and seal it with the king's seal, signet ring. It's gonna be put into play. Once you do that, it reverses the judgment of what Haman had said. Everybody got to bow down on him. You bow down on him, you're gonna be put to death. All that's gonna be reversed. Read.
Verse 9. Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is, the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies and rulers of the provinces which are from India unto Ethiopia, 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing, and according to their language.
So he's writing to all 127 provinces, man, letting them know that the decree that for them to kill us is going to be reversed in every 127 provinces. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries, wherein the king granted the Jews which
Wait a minute,
were.
hold up. I want you to go to Apocrypha, Salakia. Go to go back to the Apocrypha. I wanted you to start at the 6th verse. Go to the Apocrypha. Start at chapter 16. Read verse 6 again.
Additions to Esther.
No, wait a minute. Where were you at? Where was you at? Verse what?
In the Apocrypha or
Yeah, in the revised version.
that
15,
was
right?
No, he was in 11.
Go ahead, read 11.
8 and 11.
Read 11 and 12.
Esther's 8 and 11,
Mm-hmm.
wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
So he said, hey, he ordained that we're going to slay, we're going to destroy, slay, and cause to perish all the power of the people and provinces, which is 127 provinces, that would assault them, both little ones, that's little children, and women, and to take the spoil, meaning rob and take everything they have of them for a prey, he's saying. Go ahead. Now I'll read verse 12, then we'll go to the Apocrypha.
Verse 12, upon one day in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar.
So this is the 12th month on the 13th day, like we had yesterday, right? In the month of Adar, which is what month for us in our calendar? The what month in number? The what? No. What month in our calendar is this? Huh?
3.
No.
Adar?
What month is this that we're dealing with, dealing with when we get this victory over our enemy to be able to go and do what he said do? It's going to be the what month? When we actually do it, I'm saying. The what?
Oh,
You said it right. The what? Yeah, when Purim is. On what month?
12 month.
12th month, right.
That's 12.
well, that's Adar.
I didn't, you didn't speak it loud. I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
That's
Like I
Adar.
said, speak loud.
Okay.
Whether you right, speak loud or you wrong. I can't. You gotta speak loud. You hear it? I didn't hear. You heard him say it? I didn't hear him say it.
Just in case they're wrong.
Yeah, just like you wrong. Speak loud, man. If you wrong, that's all right, huh?
I thought you meant the calendar
time.
month that we're in now,
No.
which is Adar.
No, this don't mean nothing.
That's what I thought
Yeah,
you were saying.
no, I don't understand. But this don't. No, they don't. Like we're looking outside right now, the moon is full. The 15th, right, or the 12th month,
Right.
15th day. Look outside, the moon is full.
Right.
You know what I mean? Straight up. So let's continue.
I'm going to go to the Apocrypha.
The Apocrypha, yeah. We on page 57. If you have the Cambridge University Press, the Red Apocrypha, we're gonna start at chapter 16. You see how this going together with Esther from the 1611 Revised Version all the way into the Apocrypha? Just how you read it to get the whole understanding. When they say the Apocrypha is not canon, they'll never know this. Con? Yeah, read.
Additions to Esther's 16 and 1. The great king Ahasuerus unto the princes and governors of 107 and 20 provinces from India unto Ethiopia, and unto all our faithful subjects, greeting. Many, the more often they are honored with the great bounty of their gracious princes, the more proud they are waxen, and endeavor to hurt not our subjects only, but not being able to bear abundance, do take in hand to practice also against those that do them good, and take not only thankfulness away from among men, but also lift it up with the glorious words of lewd persons that were never good. They think to escape the justice of the Most High, that seeth all things and hateth evil.
That's right. That's the Most High. That's our power. Go ahead.
Oftentimes also fair speech of those that are put in trust to manage their friends' affairs have caused many that are in authority to be partakers of innocent blood, and have enwrapped them in remediless calamities, beguiling with the falsehood and deceit of their lewd disposition the innocency and goodness of princes. Verse 7. Now ye may see this, as we have declared, not so much by ancient histories as ye may, if ye search what have been wickedly done of late through the pestilent behavior of them that are unworthily placed in authority. And we must take care for the time to come, that our kingdom may be quiet and peaceable for all men, both by changing our purposes and always judging things that are evident with more equal proceeding. For Haman, a Macedonian, the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood, and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us, have so far forth obtained the favor that we showed toward every nation, as that he was called our father, and was continually honored of all the next person unto the king. But he,
Salakia, continually honored of all men, as the next person until. Read that last part again. From and was.
it say all men in yours?
Yeah.
Okay, it don't say it in mine. So I got it.
Okay. Oh, you reading off the. Okay, I thought you was reading out of the red one. Go ahead, King.
All right.
What do it say in yours? Read that again. What it says in yours?
I would not, verse 11. And was continually honored of all the next person unto the king.
Next person, it say all men. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 12.
You saw something else, eh? You see how they change things up, man. Straight up. Go ahead.
But he, not bearing his great dignity, went about to deprive us of our kingdom and life, having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction, as well of Mordecai, who saved our life, and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom, with their whole nation. For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians.
See? You see that? He was really plotting to take the kingdom from the Persians and the Medes, thinking that he was going to get in that seat and be able to take them down. You read that last part again? Thinking what?
For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians.
He's a Macedonian. That's an Edomite. Khan? To the Edomites. At that time. Wasn't time, though. Go ahead.
So, like, you read that again?
Verse 14. For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians.
Right. Get Micah 2 and 2. Right. So it said what? Esau's always plotting.
That's right.
This whole thing was really for them to take over the Persian Empire. God? They was going to exterminate us and then take over. Esau's always plotting.
Yo.
Right? That's why when you read these scriptures, man, you got to see what the Most High is saying. God, hold your point 1 second, King. You got to see what the Most High is saying. He wanted to translate the kingdom from the Persians to the Macedonians. So Esau was coveting the Persians' kingdom.
Yep.
Now, remind you, Daniel saw the vision of the 4 kingdoms, okay? But it was time for the Persians to rule.
Yep.
But Esau, greedy, wicked, my heart said, no, I want my time now. You're going to get the Greeks was next. The Greeks was after the Medo-Persian Empire, because that was the 3rd kingdom that Daniel saw. But this greedy, wicked devil, he want to overthrow the Persians. And in the meantime, exterminate them Jews. Okay? Micah 2 and 2, Salakia.
Micah 2 and 2.
Go ahead.
And they covet fields.
They do what?
And they covet fields.
They covet fields. They have a strong desire. Right? They covet fields. They covet different kingdoms and parts of the world. Go ahead.
And take them by violence.
Look, let's wipe out the Israelites and let's take over the Persian Empire. Right? Remember, he plotted to assassinate Ahasuerus. Right? He plotted to assassinate him. He wanted to have the 2 eunuchs and chamberlains assassinate Ahasuerus so the Greeks can take over the kingdom. The Macedonians can take over the kingdom. The Edomites back then, whatever you call them, whatever title and label they went over in ancient time, they were all Edomites. Okay? Right, read on.
And take them by violence.
And do what?
And take them by violence.
Come on.
And houses. And take them away.
Right, and take them away. So what does Esau do? He got the earth through violence. That was his blessing. The priest brought it out early in Genesis 27. So that's what this whole thing was about. Yep. You know, we're going to kill them Jews because we hate them, but we're going to overthrow the Persian Empire. Esau wanted his time before it was in. The Most High gonna let y'all rule. But no, they wanted it then and now. Because they're a covetous nation, man. Okay? Right. So the rest of the books are Esther 16:14 with Micah 2 and 2. So like that's it on that.
Go to First Maccabees 1 and 1. It's clear. I'm gonna be clear as ever. Because Haman was what? Besides Amalek, he was a what? No, what we just read. Macedonian. Khan. So look at this. Yes.
And Alexander the Not So Great, who later took over, was a Macedonian with the Greek army, but he was a Macedonian.
Read that out.
First Maccabees.
Y'all would die. Check this out.
1 and 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
The who?
The Macedonian.
See? Edomite. Right? Read.
Who came out of the land of Shittim, has smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
This is going to happen in the future. Not when Haman wanted it to happen. He's gone. He finished. Go ahead.
That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
First over Greece, man. The Greek Empire, man.
What was that,
First Maccabees 1 and 1.
1 and 1.
Yeah, so you see how it goes right along with what we said as far as being the Macedonians, being the Edomites.
Right.
So go ahead. We want to hurry up and get through this so we can finish this up.
Time.
Go ahead, Up.
Where we at? 16:15 in the Apocrypha.
Yeah. Then we just gonna read on to the end, get this judgment.
Time.
We'll be done. Go ahead, Up.
And make sure y'all going over these notes. Okay? Each year when the feast days come, you can always refer. You don't have to wait till the feast day to read the book of Esther. You don't have to wait till Purim to read Esther. Okay? But if you take meticulous notes, you know when the feast come up, you got notes from over the years.
Right.
So you know how to answer the questions, explain it, and one day you may have to preside over the service. Okay? So you got your notes on how to explain and break things down.
Right.
Okay?
Come on, let's read.
Additions to Esther 16 and 15. But we find that the Jews, whom this wicked wretch have delivered to utter destruction, are no evildoers, but live by most just laws, and that they be children of the Most High and most mighty living power, who have ordered the kingdom both unto us and to our progenitors in the most excellent manner. Wherefore ye shall do well not to put in execution the letters sent unto you by Haman, the son of Amadatha. For he was that worker of these things. For he that was worker of these things is hanged at the gates of Susa with all his family. The Most High, who ruleth all things, speedily rendering vengeance to him according to his deserts. Verse 19. Therefore, ye shall publish the copy of this letter in all places, that the Jews may freely live after their own laws. And ye shall aid them, that even the same day, being the 13th day of the 12th month Adar, that they may be avenged on them who in the time of their affliction shall shed upon them. Verse 21. For the Almighty Most High have turned to joy unto them the day wherein the chosen people should have perished. Ye shall therefore among your solemn feasts keep it an high day with all feasting, that both now and hereafter there may be safety to us and the well-affected Persians, but to those who do conspire against us a memorial of destruction.
That's right. Anybody coming against us, a memorial to destruction. Go ahead.
Verse 24. Therefore, every city and country whatsoever which shall not do according to these things shall be destroyed without mercy with fire and sword.
That's right, man. They're gonna be killed. That's a reversing of the judgment against us. You see, and killing us. Go ahead. Go back to 2 Ezra 8:13. Eight 13.
Oh, Esther.
That's 8:13.
Yeah, Salaki.
Esther's 8:13. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies.
So you see what that decree that was written, the reverse us being put to death. Now you see it come back to Esther 8 and 13 is making sense for that. Read. You blessed it? You blessed the oil?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 14. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment. And the decree was given at Shushan the palace. Verse 15. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad.
Go ahead.
The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor, and in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Yeah, how many of the people of the land became Jews? For the fear of the Jews fell upon them. How did they become Jews?
Yeah.
You say and many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Nobody want to be us, right? But whenever there's something happening, there's gonna be some destruction. Everybody join unto us. Remember, tell you all faces gonna gather blackness. I'm an Israelite. I'm a Jew, right? So hey, they look like us. They gonna try to pass like us. But they was ready to kill us before this decree came out. You see? So now they want to be us. Go ahead, read on. We got 9 and 10 to go. We're gonna read that now. Yeah. Go ahead.
Esther 9 and 1. Now the 12th month, that is the month Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them.
See, these people hated us, man. They hate us with a perpetual hatred, man. And they pass it down to everybody else that would join unto them. They want to kill us. Go ahead.
Verse 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Ahasuerus, go ahead.
To lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people.
That's right, man. We're going to put in some work. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And all the rulers of the provinces, and the lieutenants, and the deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
That's right, man. Everybody going to help us now, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. Mordecai has been exalted to be a second in charge. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater.
Go ahead.
Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter, and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
I'm going to say it twice, right? Those that hate us. Those that hate us. The Most High came through to be able to allow them to be slaughtered. Answering the prayer of Mordecai and Esther. Go ahead.
And in Shushan, the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 5,000 men. And Parshadatha and Dalphon.
Count, y'all. 5,000 men. Go ahead.
And Aspatha and Paratha and Adalia and Aradatha and Parmastha and Parmastha and Arasai and Aradai and Vashzatha, the 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hamadatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they, but on the spoil laid they not their hand.
Hear that? We ain't want nothing they have, man. On the spoil, we ain't want nothing they have. Go ahead.
On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king. And the king said unto Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's provinces? Now what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done.
Now let me show you something. Haman's sons were hanged. They hung Haman's sons on the gallows. I want you to go to Ecclesiastes 30:3. Very important to see this. While the sons all the time had to be killed. Read this.
Ecclesiasticus 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Right. Now we're looking at Haman's sons. Khan, go ahead. He taught Jesus his sons, like you said, hey, to hate us, the Jews, the Israelites. Go ahead.
Though his father died.
Now Haman's dead. Go ahead.
Yet he as though he were not dead.
Yo, it's going to be though he had not died. Read.
Saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
See, when he died, he was not sorrowful. Go ahead. Why?
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
He left behind him 10 avengers against his enemies. Read.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
Right. Con, so hey, that's why they had to put him to death, man. Give them those sons, man, because they'll be a vision for their daddy. Go ahead. Back to Esther.
Salaki, watch a movie called One Night with the King. It's on YouTube. It's about the so-called story of Esther. Of course, it's Edomites playing in it. It's like a 10 Commandments or something. But they go in depth in that movie how when Saul left Agag alive, the Amalekite, that seed and their descendants are the ones that rose up during the Persian Empire to get vengeance on Israel. See, this was a deep-seated hatred they had against us.
Yeah.
That's when it said Haman, the enemy of the Jews, this went back in generations because the Lord said he will have war with Amalek. So when Saul rebelled and didn't kill off all the Amalekites, that seed of Agag lived on, going all the way through up until Haman. I know y'all probably went into that yesterday because it goes into that in the 3rd chapter. But this is a generational thing. So when Esau and Jacob came out the womb, the Lord said, what? We would be enemies forever. We were struggling in the womb. So we will always be enemies. You will never get along with this man. It's already predestined by the Most High. Okay? So when you look at it, no matter what our people do, they will never be able to get together with Esau. This was a generational thing going back. Okay?
Go ahead.
Y'all gotta check that movie out. Like I said, it's Esau, but it goes into a little bit of the history from a Hollywood perspective of the story of Purim. It's called One Night with the King. Okay?
One Night with the King.
Okay.
Go ahead, up.
Esther 9:13. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree, and let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
See that? So kill his sons. Why? Because why she said kill his sons? Because what we just read in Ecclesiastes 30th chapter, he gonna do what?
They might rise up to kill you later.
Yeah, leave a avenger behind. Right. 10 avengers, right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. And the king commanded it so to be done, and the decree was given at Shushan, and they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
Right. Go ahead.
For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day, also of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hand.
So how many men they done killed so far?
5,010?
Mm-mm.
You said 5,000 first, right? Then 10?
How many did it say first?
I thought it was
500.
Oh, 500. I'm sorry.
And now 300.
Okay.
800. Go ahead.
Verse 16. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives and had rest from their enemies and slew of their foes 75,000.
How many?
75,000.
So what we got? How many? What number we got now? 75,000 and 800. How many? 8,300. Come on, let's go.
But they laid not their hands on the prey.
We don't want nothing they have. Go ahead.
Verse 17. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested day, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
See, this is what we done as a people. This is not ordained, through the Most High, but we as a people ordained that we would honor our victory over our enemies when they roll the dice to find out when they're going to kill us. And it will reverse on them. We have an opportunity to kill them. You understand? On the 13th day, and she risked her life for us. The 13th day, and she went back to the king and said, hey, if it please the king, let us kill him another day. Not only that first day, she said, let us kill him another day. That's the woman. That's the woman, right? She's like, hey, that ain't enough. Kill him another day. Push that red button. Boom! Nuke them all. Go ahead, we got to get finished with this,
Verse 18. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, man, honoring this day, man, of the victory over our enemies, man. We're feasting and gladness, man. Supposed to be a happy time, man. Each feast day is supposed to be happy, man. Nobody's supposed to be coming in with the negative. That's the devil coming in with negative. Whenever you're looking at just our feast days, anybody coming negative, man, that's the devil coming in, man. Because he said, you done said it twice. Feasting and gladness, man. Supposed to be a happy time, man. Leave our stuff out there in the world, man. Don't come with that negative during the time that we have these feast days, man. You understand? Con? Con? All right, let's go.
Verse 19. Therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting.
That's about 3 or 4 times that it said this. Gladness and feasting, right? Go ahead.
And a good day.
Good day, go ahead.
And of sending portions one to another.
Now they got Christmas when they do that, but this is time that we can do this. Sending portions, giving presents and so forth to each other. Not on feast of dedication. I mean, you can do it anytime you want to, but I mean, you see this particular day that we honor, we send portions to each other. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly.
Yearly, man, we kept this day. Honoring it like they honor 4th of July every year, right? Same thing. Them getting the victory over the Britain. Here we are getting the victory over the wicked Haman and all those that were joined unto him. We killed everybody. Remember, all these nations were joined unto Esau in the 127 provinces. Okay, read.
Verse 22. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them. Verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pur that is the lot to consume them and to destroy them.
You know, I seen something on YouTube, and it was like the Amalekite talking about the Amalek, and the Purim.
Well, they dress up.
Huh?
They dress up in costumes.
Yeah, they do all that, but I'm just saying the title was Amalek and the Jews. Like Amalek is not them.
Oh, gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? Like Amalek and and Purim. Like I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I'm saying the title was like Amalek and Purim. You know what I mean? Like they gonna talk about Amalek, this and that. See what Amalek did? Who is Amalek? You know, I got to look at it to see, but it's called Amalek and Purim. You know what I mean? Like they're looking at it like I got to look at it because who is they saying Amalek is?
Today they say it's the Palestinians.
The Palestinians.
Palestinians?
Yes.
See?
As if they're not Ishmael.
Right, I heard that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
God.
Elias from the womb. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 25. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows. Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the name of Pur.
Pur is when they roll the dice. They roll the dice, you know, to determine. They was rolling the dice to determine when they was going to do this. Right. You know what I'm saying? We can't do it on this day because that feast day is this day, whatever things that, whereas we will be all together, trying to come together, got to do it on the day that we're not coming together. You know, like we didn't have anything as far as a holy day or any time, you know, that we would do this. This is, I'm going to tell you, like when you look at Purim, the 14th day, always the Passover is a month after that. You understand? When we have, like we right now, the Passover, we a month right after we had the first day of Purim. It's always a month later, whenever we have it, you see? So the Passover always falls a month later, 30 days later, or so forth, you know what I mean? Generally, it'll be on the, like we see now, the almost to the full moon. Because it'll be the 15th day, it'll be the full moon that, you know, we observe. So that's how you know. Go ahead.
Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail that they would keep these things, that they would keep these 2 days according to their writing, and according to their appointed time every year. Verse 28. And that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed. Then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Purim.
See, you see, this is supposed to be kept every year, man. And we coming back to our, you know, it's beautiful because I did a lot of these by myself and with a few people years ago. When we started doing it, you know, realized we were supposed to do it, you know, we wasn't coming together like this. It's not something that we all came together back in the day, you know what I mean? When we recognize that, you know, that's beautiful, man, that brothers now coming together, man, and sisters coming together now compared to how it used to be, man. Just letting you know we're getting closer and closer, looking at what we did in our custom, man. We're coming together to observe these things that we said we're going to do. You hear them saying it from generation to generation, right, Kai? Yeah, come on. All praise to the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed the matters of the fastings in their cry. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
Go ahead. Last verse, last chapter.
Esther, chapter 10 and 1. And the king Ahasuerus laid a tribute upon the land, and upon the isles of the sea, and all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him. Are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia? Verse 3, for Mordecai the Jew was next unto King Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed.
Right. So Mordecai, man, he was set up right under the king, man, King Ahasuerus, right? Which reminds us of who else was set up right under the king.
Oh, how many? You mean in this text?
No. Who else in our history was set up right under the king? Yes.
Daniel and Joseph.
Khan. Very good. That's right. So when Joseph was set up, man, they talking about we was in captivity. We were in captivity under the Egyptian. When Joseph set up right after Ramses the first died, we was ruling, man. We had power for four dynasties. That's when you see Egypt was powerful. We was ruling. You understand? So what happened after Pharaoh got drowned?
Then come a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph.
Yeah, right. That's when we went into captivity.
Right.
I think about 350 years we ruled. Then the last 80 years we was in captivity. Then we came out from, the research that's been done, Yes.
Yeah, speaking regarding Esther.
Could you speak up?
Speaking regarding Esther and the events that happened in Esther, I found something in the book of Job. If you permit me to read it, regarding Esther and Mordecai.
Job where?
Job chapter 5, verse 11, going to verse 15.
Let's go there. Read that.
You want me to read it?
You want to read it?
Oh, yeah. You got it?
All right. It's Job chapter 5, verse 11, going to verse 15. To set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn, Esther, may be exalted to safety. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
That's right. Making them fall.
Darkness.
Oh, wait a minute. See, all these things, all these things were purpose against us, man. Let you know that, hey, the Most High is gonna bring up the low, those that humble, to safety, not the pride. You hate the pride. Pride is hateful before man and the Most High, right? Khan? So he take the humble, man, and he say he disappointed them, the devices of the crafty. Crafty is dealing with the devil. You real slick, crafty, cunning, slick. You know what I mean? Sleekly. What else do I say? Huh? Somebody said something, but they talking so low, you scared to talk up? Who was that? Speak up loud, be loud, wrong, right, whatever, man. Talk up, speak up. What y'all saying?
They said the white man.
Huh?
The so-called white man. That's what they said. Somebody said the so-called white man.
Oh, okay. I mean, speak up.
The abominable.
If you're going to say it, just say it.
Say it. Speak loud. Come on. You know you right. Don't right? Con? Speak loud about that. Say it. Who said it?
Under the Aqua said it.
Oh, okay. That's why y'all was slow. Okay. Y'all want to be dealt with. Okay, I understand. But y'all on point. They always on point, ain't they? Go ahead.
All right, so this is verse 14. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty.
That's right, man.
From
so now,
mouth.
These are particular people that we got to look at in our time to be saved. Since you there, jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17.
Verse 19.
Job chapter 5, verse 19.
Kind.
He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles.
Just like he just did, man. He just delivered us in all the troubles that we was going to have under the Persian and me from wicked Haman. Read.
Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
This is what we want to be, man, for our time. Read.
In famine, he shall redeem thee from death.
Yeah, Biden said gonna be famine. He's announced that a few times, man. That's why you got to prepare yourself for what's going to go down. Food shortages. Read.
And then from the war power of the sword.
And from what? Read it again.
And then war from the power of the sword.
War, racial wars is coming on this earth, man. He's going to deliver us from the power of the sword, man. What's the modern day sword?
Gun.
That's right. Guns. Khan, go ahead.
Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it comes.
That's right, man. That's what we want to be, man. We're going to be hid from whatever they're talking, whatever they're saying. We're going to hear none of that. So we're going to, at destruction, when it comes, man, we're going to be hid from the destruction that's coming. It's coming. Khan? Yeah, that's what we want to be, man. Read.
At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh.
That sounds great to me, man. All right, Khan? Yeah. At destruction and famine, we shall what?
Laugh.
Shall laugh, man. We're going to be happy, rejoicing. Go ahead. Right. Most High, Ratazawan will. Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
You know, the beasts going to be eating up people, man. They're going to be killing people and eating them up. Go ahead.
For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Yeah, that's just what we want to be, man, because the beasts of the field are going to be killing people and eating them up. They're going to be hungry too. Khan? Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit the habitations and shalt not sin.
That's why anybody talking about we ain't under the law, we ain't under the commandments, they're liars. You hear that? They won't be here. They won't be here, Khan. Right. Say they shall not sin. That's what we're talking about. Fear the Most High, repent, keep the commandments of the Most High, cry unto the Most High, read, for deliverance, for be saved from our enemies in the hand of all that hate us. Read.
Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great in thine offspring as the grass of the earth.
Man, that's Most High say we're gonna one man gonna have how many children? 1,000. Yeah, you know that, don't you? You know that, right? Go ahead.
Thou shalt.
Yeah, even I can hardly get out my mouth. 1,000. And the feeble one, what a feeble one get? A strong nation. Bring forth a strong nation, man. Yes.
The book Isaiah.
God. Isaiah 60, 21 and 22. I want to write it down. Go ahead.
Can I say something small about
Huh?
I want to say something small about Bishop.
What?
But it says right here, thou shalt come. It says right here that thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, thine offspring shall be as the grass of the earth, a numerous nation. The last nation that the Most High said to be fruitful and multiply to was Jacob. Genesis chapter 35. Chapter 35, verse 10, going to verse 11.
Nation, the kingdom of nations. Shall I'll be, man.
This is Job chapter 5, verse
26.
26. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like as a shock of corn cometh in his season. Verse 27. Lo, this we have searched it. So it is here it and know thou it for thy good.
That's right. Know it for our good, man. It's here, and all praise the Most High for our soul, my God, side for this glorious day of Purim, man. The Most High allowed us victory of our enemies 2 days in a row. That's right. That's right. All praise the Most High.
Salaki, let me ask a question. Anybody know another name for the day Purim? For the Feast of Purim? Is there another name? Huh?
Is it Day of Lot?
Yeah, that you can call it that also.
Day of who or what?
Day of Lots.
Day of Lots.
Because they cast the lots, yeah. Yakim?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, the Feast of Lots.
Yeah. Something else.
Mordecai's Day.
Prove it. Purim is also known as Mordecai's Day.
That's right.
Because Mordecai was really the chief, well, I don't want to say the chief, but he was one of the main vessels that the Most High used to deliver Israel. because he was the one counseling Esther, and he was the one really, it always got to go back to the man. The man is the head, God. Esther was the vessel used, but the counsel and the guidance came from her father, basically, because he took her as his daughter. He was an older cousin, but he took her as his daughter. The counsel and the guidance came from the father, Mordecai. God? So, prove it. Yashala.
Yeah,
Quick on that sword. Quick on that sword. Second Maccabees 15.
Oh yeah, come
for the sake of time, I just helped you out. Second Maccabees 15 and 26. Y'all write this down. This links with Esther 10, 1 through 3. Okay? Yeah, Second Maccabees 15 and 36. Salakia. 36, my bad. Read that real quick. Read that, Yashala.
This is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 15, verse number 36. And they ordained all what they common decree, in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month.
Right, so that was Tuesday night, which was the destruction of Nicanor / Judas Maccabees Day. Go ahead.
Which in the Syrian tongue is called Ador.
Go ahead.
The day before Mordecai's day.
Right, because what? The destruction of Nicanor / Judas Maccabees Day is before the first day of Purim. So the Most High gave us 3 days in a row of celebrating the destruction of our enemies.
That's right.
And the Most High used different tribes of Israel to deliver us at different times. We spoke about Joseph earlier, which was the father of Ephraim and Manasseh. Right? Tonight is Benjamin. Right? Is Mordecai and Esther. Right? Tuesday night, it was who? Judas Maccabees, a Levite. His name was Judah, but he was a Levite. Okay? So the Most High used all different tribes at different times to deliver Israel. Okay? One more and we out of here. Go to Joel 2 and 27. So today, real quick, I'm going to tell this story because we want to shut down and enjoy each other's company. But I was in Westwood, right? It was y'all know LA. There's a lot of Amalek over there, right? So we're talking about Amalek tonight. So I was over in Westwood, right, taking care of some business as an Amalekite I deal with, right? And as soon as I can get in the building, normally she'd be like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" You got to supplant the nation sometimes. So you be cordial. I'm not gonna go in there and be like, "You're not the real Jew woman, you're the devil." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna build a rapport with her because I gotta supplant her for business and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, God? Use wisdom, man. I remember one time Elder Kazak from back in One West, he told us a story how the other elders messed up like millions of dollars in potential business that he was trying to do with Amalek and Israel. He was trying to do some business with them and bring it back to the school.
With the oil.
But he took the elders over there and they cursed the Amalekites out, told them they not the real Jews, and messed up the deal. So you got to use wisdom. You're not in camp every minute. I bet you won't go on your job and do that because you'll be fired.
Right.
So you got to use wisdom, and you got to know when to make friends with the unrighteous mammon and things of that nature, so you can move in this nation and in this society, kind. But anyway, I could barely walk into the building. As soon as she see me, the world is about to end. Because sometimes we talk about stuff like that. We talk about
That's what she said.
Yeah, I knew her. I met her back during COVID because I was doing some business. I met her. And I was like, okay, you can help a brother out. So I go link, whatever the case may be. But normally it's like, how you doing? I tease her, shalom, you know what I'm saying, whatever. She didn't even say hi. I walked into the building, she said, the world is about to end. Because, like I said, sometimes we talk about what's going on in the news, you know what I'm saying? I'm supplanting her, okay? But I said, the Most High is not playing, man. By Hashem, right? Priest gonna get on me for pronouncing it wrong, right? But I said, look at this, man. We in the midst of Purim, okay? Which we're going into the destruction of Amalek. Haman was a descendant of the Agagites, and I could barely talk what we need to talk about, or she could barely say hi, and I tease and say shalom. The world is about to end. You see what's going on? See that? So the Most High is showing, right? Give me Joel 2:27. Yashala, you can read that.
God, this is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse number 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Right, the Most High is in the midst of us. We are his chosen people. God? Right, go ahead.
And that I am Yahweh your power.
Come on.
And none else.
Read.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
We're not going to be ashamed. Be proud to be Israel. God? You know what I'm saying? Let people know. No, I'm not a black American. I'm from the tribe of Judah of the nation of Israel. I'm not a West Indian. I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. God. Benjamin. We read about Benjamin tonight. They delivered the nation at this time. Right, read on.
And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
Go ahead.
And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions.
Go ahead. And you know that's already happening within the nation of Israel. Come on.
And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit.
The Lord gonna pour his spirit on all flesh on the earth, right? I'm coming in there, the Amalek woman prophesying to me. The world is about to, I'm like, damn, Shalom, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? The world is about to end, right? Go ahead.
And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire.
And we see what's happening in the earth, the prophecies, the destruction, the storms. Go ahead.
And pillars of smoke.
And pillars of smoke, right? Wars going on, right? Go ahead.
The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood.
Right, and we talking about the moon. There's a blood moon tonight. Okay? Right, there's a blood moon tonight. As some brothers shared it in the chat. You know, tonight is a so-called blood moon. Right, go ahead. So some destruction about to happen somewhere. Go ahead.
Before the great and terrible day of Yahweh come.
Right, before the great and terrible day of the Most High Yahweh shall come. Come on.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh shall be delivered.
See that? We got to call on the name of Yahweh and the Mashiach, and we shall be delivered. Okay? And part of the way you do that is by keeping the commandments. You call on him by showing him you want to serve him through your actions. Okay? That's it on that?
No.
Go ahead.
For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance.
Go ahead.
As Yahweh hath said, and in the remnant whom Yahweh shall call.
See that? There you go. So this is a great time that we're living in. Right. The nation's coming up. We celebrating the Purim, which is the destruction of Amalek. Amalek trying to be the world's about to end. Right. Yeah, all right. I'm trying to get in there, do what I got to do, and get out. See what to talk about the world. All right, let's talk about it. I got a few minutes, guys. Right. So Most High showing us, Salakia, one more. Luke 21:25. Luke 21:25. I know y'all smell the food. Come on, Elder, the priest already closed the service out. Right? He's messing with y'all. Right? Luke 21:25. But the Most High is showing these great signs, man. You can't make this stuff up.
That's right.
And when I see that, man, it just further convinces me, and it's like the Most High is giving you comfort in your daily life. Like, look, I'm here. This is real. Okay? If you having any doubt or you getting your faith getting a little weak, Most High like, nope, let me give you a quick sign. Right? Go ahead.
And the Jews require a sign.
The Jews require a sign. Most High said, I'll show you.
122. Right?
Right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse number 25.
God.
And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon.
Like I said, tonight, the closing of Purim, it's a blood moon tonight. Okay? Right? Go ahead.
And in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations.
And the other day on Judah Maccabee's day, it was a double rainbow. Right? Yeah, it rained a little bit. You know, it's weather been kind of crazy in Southern California, right? Yeah. But it rained a little bit, and then you look up, you can see a double rainbow. God, my phone had died. I was trying to get a video or a picture of it. I think my daughter got it right there. So now you got it, right? Oh, yes. My daughter got a picture of it, though. I was trying to get it on my phone, but it was a double rainbow in the sky. Okay? Right, go ahead.
And upon the earth, distress of nations.
And it's going to be distress of nations. Go ahead.
With perplexity.
Come on.
The sea and the waves roaring.
Go ahead.
Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth.
Right. Another plane crashed today or yesterday, somewhere. Another plane, you know what I'm saying? People fear of flying, and I'm not going up there, right? Because the Most High is bringing all this destruction and wrath on the earth. So I just wanted to bring that quick testimony out on the Feast of Purim. The Most High showing us great signs.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we're going to close out here. I'll say, Krum Abanawa Yahweh. Krum Mashiach Yahushai. And Krum Yasharala. We're out. Shalom. We're going to end right here.
So, and I just want to say, give it up for Rob Judah and his household.